There's going to be more somethings.
Always more somethings. Nah, yeah, but gentlemen, really good fucking movie. Tell you what, really fun. So much tongue in cheek, just cheeky. I love me a Barbie.
God damn it.
Do you know what this is?
No, I have no clue. It looked good, and I heard good things about it. It's one of those movies. It was one of those movies that didn't seem like it got a lot of attention when it was out in theaters.
No.
And so it's just kind of, a lot of people missed it. But all accounts make it a good movie.
Good movie. Definitely worth a watch. Fun. From stem to stern. Fun.
Like Hardcore Henry.
Probably a little better than a Hardcore Henry.
No, that's hard to do.
Anyways, what's poppin', players? Welcome back to a Two Penny Gamescast. I'm your host, Tavin Bothel, here with my good friend and co-host, Connor Elliott. Say hello to the people, Connor.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, this show comes to you every week, Monday, 8 a.m., youtube.com/2pennygamescast, and mainstream podcast services of your choice, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud. We're out here. Please drop a like, drop a follow, comment, share with your friends. We really do appreciate it. It really does help. Every week, me and Connor come to you with two topics, two pennies, if you will, and we give you 2 cents on them concerning news in the video game industry. But if just talking about video games isn't enough for you, if you want to see some hardcore gamers play some hardcore games, well, go ahead and hop over to twitch.tv/2pennygames every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central Time.
One of those people is not a hardcore gamer, though, because he did not finish Elden Ring. He had to drop it. So, keep that in mind.
We're starting early, huh? You couldn't even wait till what we've been playing?
I'll bring it up one time.
You couldn't even wait till what we've been playing?
Just one time.
All right, yeah. Anyways, twitch.tv/2pennygames, where we put on a Tuesday, 2 p.m., where we put on a show called Hype. Have you ever played? It's me and my buddy Phil. Sometimes Connor joins us, in which we show each other games the other has never played before. This last week, Phil had me play some Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut.
Good game, huh?
And there will be a review coming shortly.
Wait a second. Are you implying that a Sonic game was not good from your tone of voice?
There will be a review shortly.
I don't even know anything about that game. I'll be
Phil. You know what pisses me off about Phil?
What?
I show him masterpiece after masterpiece after masterpiece on this goddamn show. And you know what he fucking gives me? Oh, Sonic Adventure 1. One of the worst games ever. Spoilers for the review. Fucking Jak 2. Fucking piece of
Jak
shit.
2.
I didn't like Jak 2.
3 was the one you
I liked Jak 3. Fucking Jak 1 was meh. Fucking Kingdom Hearts 1 sucks.
Phil? Response?
It sucks.
Hear a response from him soon.
Sonic Adventure broke me a little bit, bro. I'll be honest. It's easily the worst game we've played on the show. I don't even think Phil will deny it.
Because he did it for the joke, I'm guessing.
Absolutely, he did. He was like, I think every 30 minutes, I just turned to him and I went, Phil, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? And he goes, Sonic. And I go, I hate you.
Did you play the entire game?
Yes, but no. I rolled credits, but then they do the thing where okay, play the game again, but as different characters. It's the same game, but just different characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, each character has a move or whatever. No, I just played as Sonic, I made it to the credits, and then I called it a day.
It's a short game. Sounds like it.
3 hours it took us. 3.5, something like that. Anyways, this week, join us for another masterpiece called Catherine.
Oh, yeah. That's not... You joke, but that is a masterpiece.
That's a great game. I don't know about a masterpiece, but you've never played it. No, I've played it twice. It's a great game. It's so great, in fact, I was watching Phil play it, and then I went and I installed it on my PlayStation. But I don't have time. I'm playing too many other games right now. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, Connor?
Yep.
Let's get right into it, my friend. PlayStation had a bit of a state of play this week. Had one of them states of plays that they talk about. This is my first penny of the day. This was and then we've just got a one of these recaps from the PlayStation blog here. They don't go into it too much detail because they just provide links to all the different things or whatever. But we're just gonna go through it real quick, talk about what we thought. Connor, you watched the state of play?
I did. I don't think I watched it live because I forgot about it, and then I went and watched it. But it was still live. But I think it ended by that point. Did you watch it live?
I watched it live. In fact, you can see my live reactions up right now, youtube.com/2pennygamescast, in which I had all the highs, all the lows as everybody else. There was a few moments that had me, grabbing my head and shaking it around like a Muppet because I was so excited. And then there was a lot of moments where I was like, Okay, that's a game.
And by things that make you shake your head in excitement, you mean one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, but I thought it was okay. Solid B minus. It's fine. There were some games that looked cool. There were some games that didn't grab my interest. I think the presentation is as drab as the state of plays always are. And honestly, this one has cemented to me that like state of plays are not something you should be looking to for excitement.
Yeah, because it got announced and people were really excited. You even sent me a link about how the Final Fantasy Twitter page or somewhere. Or
there was a website that got updated somewhere
for
like
something. The anniversary of Final Fantasy. So hopefully I was going to get some 16 content. I didn't.
Didn't happen.
No.
Didn't happen. You got some weird spin-off game content.
Yeah, some very weird spin-off content.
But yeah, and then, you know, some other Square Enix things. But yeah, to me, now, if you want to get excited about something PlayStation-centric, you got to wait for, like, what they call a showcase. You know, something at the E3 levels of hype type things where they're like, hey, we're having a big blowout, yada, 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 yada.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. These state of plays are just neat little updates where you can get some cool little, you know, hey, here's a game maybe you didn't know was coming out that might strike your interest. Hey, here's a new game from a third-party studio that we're partnering with, and it's going to be cool, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. Sounds neat. Or it'll be a big blowout of one marquee game. I'm sure we'll get a God of War Ragnarok gameplay state of play where they spend 20 minutes just talking about God of War.
Final update stuff.
Yeah. Stuff like they did with Horizon Forbidden West and so on and so forth. So, yeah, but this state of play didn't, like, blow my socks off, didn't do a whole lot for me, but it did enough to where I was like, all right, cool. I'm excited for video games coming down the future. How about you?
I was overall kind of disappointed with it because nothing here... There were some cool-looking things here, but nothing to grab me, which... I consider a state of play or any kind of showcase like this, Nintendo Direct, whatever, to be a success when it has something that, like, I'm super excited for and get really, really jumpy over.
Yeah.
Didn't have that in this one. Like I said, there were some interesting things, a lot of things that I thought were interesting, but definitely I'm not going to play.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, that's going to be, you know, happy for somebody out there, just not me. So overall, I'm a little bit iffy on it.
Sure. I think when I judge these, my levels of success, whether to deem it a success or not, it mostly lies with you when it's, you know, focused on a bunch of things where it's like, if you can give me one moment where my eyebrows raise and I go, oh, I want to do that right now. When is that coming out? And then follow that up with, or have that surrounded by a bunch of things that make me go, oh, okay, that looks kind of cool. Or I can see why somebody would be into that, you know, XYZ, you know, game, then I think that's cool. Because not every game's going to be for everybody. No. You know, there's going to be a 5-minute drag period where you're like, no.
At least have fun concepts for games that
exactly
that are interesting. And I'm like, okay, developers having a good time making this game. People are going to play it, hopefully.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
If I get that, that's acceptable.
It's when it's full of fluff and we spend too much time on one game that, you know, really isn't that exciting, and that's when I'm like, okay, did we need this? Was this necessary, or could we have just kept this in the tuck for another few months until we actually were ready for updates? Anyways, let's go ahead and walk through some of these things. They started out with a new IP, Exo Primal, coming out 2023. It's a Capcom game. You're in a mech suit, very Anthem-like, but you're fighting dinosaurs
that fall from the sky.
Yeah. It looks to be like a co-op 4-player squad game. Build out your squad. One's a heavy, one's a light guy, one's a thing like that.
Fight against large hordes of
enemies. Just a big horde survival game. And I'll be honest, looked cute.
Yeah.
Looked fun.
Yeah.
Look, you know, if it comes out and people are like, hey man, this is a lot of fun, I'd be like, all right, well, here, let me tap Connor, let me tap Phil, let me tap Ferg. Let's go fight some dinosaurs and some mechs, guys.
In that instance, I would definitely consider getting the game. Like I said earlier, I like it when state of plays or any kind of showcase like this has games that look interesting.
Yeah.
This was one of them.
Definitely.
Like, okay, nice.
Definitely one of those games where, like, it'll capture attention for a weekend or two. And then we'll move on. You know? Like, it's not going to be something that we're going to, like, sink our teeth into, put 100 hours into. Clearly, hey, let's have fun.
Yeah.
You want to have fun? This new thing came out. Let's try this new thing. See what it's like.
Nice.
Looked like it played fairly well.
It didn't seem like it was technically a flop.
Yeah,
So,
lot of dinosaurs on screen. That's
yeah.
exciting. Lot of dinosaurs on screen. And you know what? That sounds kind of cool. Mechs versus dinosaurs. That sounds kind of cool.
It's a classic. That's a classic combo that works.
A classic combo. Anyways, and then they immediately followed it up with what I'll just call the update section, in which they just threw trailer after trailer of us, each about 2 minutes in length, to just kind of show off some stuff. Ghostwire Tokyo had a new trailer.
We saw stuff from that recently.
We've been saying, I'm cool, man. You don't need to show me anymore. I understand it's about to come out, and they're like, hey guys, like get ready. I've been ready, and now honestly, I don't know if I want to be ready anymore. I think I'd rather move on.
My issue with this game at this moment in time is
Jesus
there's so
Christ,
many other
that game
things
comes
to
out
play.
March 25th.
I know. That's what I was going to mention. It comes out this month. I have too many games to play.
We got so many games.
I might hop on Borderlands. I'm going to play Triangle Strategy, Stranger of Paradise. I still have hours of Elden Ring I know left.
Yeah.
I'm good with this game right now. It's kind of unfortunately put itself in a bad release period.
It is now because of where they've chosen to land.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize it was like that because you're right, because like we were just talking in the car about all the things coming up between Triangle Strategy, between Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, between I want to jump into that Returnal update, which we'll talk about in a second, Stranger in Paradise, which I'm gonna have to skip because we're already busy. April 4th is Lego Star Wars, so I'm not putting that on the fucking back burner. No. Like something's got to give here, and it might have to be Ghostwire Tokyo. On top of the fact that I want to go back to Horizon. On top of the fact that I wanna what was another game that I started?
Horizon. I'm sorry, you're being put on the back burner too.
Hard, man, and it's a good game, and we just totally like went. All right, like
I'm you're gonna hate me for this.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn studio name. Off the top of my head.
Gorilla.
Look, I'm sorry, guys. Release your games at better times. You did it with Breath of the Wild. You did it with this. You only have yourself to blame at this point. Not the game developers, the people who are in charge of release dates. Just come on. You just move some stuff around. Spend more time on the game. Just let the month that everyone is playing things like Elden Ring pass by.
You give Forbidden West another 3 months. It runs a little better. Less pop-in, less crazy NPC nonsense.
Won't hurt.
Won't hurt at all. And then, put it in the summer where nothing's happening. This was a busy spring. And granted, you're not clairvoyant. Like, you can't, like, look into the future and be like, what's coming out? Oh, the most anticipated game maybe ever alongside a bunch of other really great games. Like, you can't call for that, but, like, still. Anyways, and then we moved into that to Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. Gave us another trailer. This game isn't doing anything for me particularly, but
there's 2 reasons why I want to play this game.
Some people have said the demo was a lot of fun.
The combat looks great. It actually seems really interesting and fresh because there's a whole class system that you can change on the fly, so you can go to different play styles basically whenever you want during the combat segments. One of the big reasons I want to play this game is because plot-wise and event-wise, the story seems so ridiculous that it can't not be good. It can't not be. Have you seen?
There was a cutscene that went online of the characters meeting each other.
No.
Oh my god!
I got the crystal too. You're gonna kill Chaos as well. And then they go in for a fist bump. They're there for a reason.
They go in for a fist bump. They're immediately bros. They're immediately like, hey, I have rock. You have rock. I want to kill God. You also want to kill God. So, like,
yeah. And then that's the kicking off point. You've seen the video part, the music part, right? You've seen that, right?
What music part? There's a music part?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, don't even tell me. I wanna
I'll show you a clip later. I just have to show you a clip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you'll laugh. We'll watch that. Oh my Jesus Christ. Yeah, but yeah, that's a game that's like, I don't know. I'm gonna put that one on pause. I'm not gonna jump in and on launch. If people like it, I'll double back to it.
Sounds like a plan.
Forspoken got a new trailer, just recently delayed to October. Forspoken. This game is a game that when it was announced, I was like, okay, yeah, we'll see. The traversal looks cool, whatever. And every time I've seen it since, I get more and more intrigued by it.
I thought the traversal and the magic would have sold you pretty instantly off this game. Because you do like your magics in video games.
I do like my magics. And there's a lot of magics. Happening. And a lot of it looks really cool. A lot of good particle effects. A lot of cool stuff happening.
Very nice.
I'm just concerned about the structure of the game. Is there a fun gameplay loop in there? Is there something that's going to keep me going? Or is it just going to be like, pretty fun combat, really good traversal, and then like a story I don't care about, or like that's where I'm at as well. The story seems really not all there. I've yet to see where the fun is in the game. You know what I mean?
As in terms of gameplay as well?
Yeah. Like what am I going in there doing? Am I going in? Am I exploring a big open world? Am I Am I on this long, crazy quest to like get back to my own time? Like, what is the objective? Like, what is the loot? Like in Phantom Pain, it's go out there, build out your resources, kidnap soldiers, build up your base and your army and all these things, and get better upgrades and improve your own stuff like that. Like, that's a loop that you can sell somebody. What is the loop of Forspoken?
It seems like it's heavily relying on its gameplay being flashy and fun and exciting.
Exactly.
Which that's good. I don't see a problem with that at all.
Where's the substance? Where can I sink my teeth into it?
Just
you know,
have to sink it in when it comes out. See what kind of meat is in there.
I guess, but it's not coming out for a while, so we're gonna be okay on that one. And then we moved into some stuff that I don't care. Personally, this is the section that I don't care, but I know somebody cares. You know, Gundam Evolution, free to play, first person shooter, PS5, PS4, 2022. Looked really stiff to me. Didn't look super exciting or fast paced or anything. This, I think, is the game that had the least interesting showing in the entire showcase. And you know, other than it being Gundams, I don't know what would draw people to it.
It seemed like it really relied on it being a Gundam game, which is cool. But then the gameplay is very generic seeming shooter with abilities that you can use.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about Gundam is that the Gundams themselves can be very diverse and have cool different types of weapons, both melee and ranged
Which makes me nervous because it's a free-to-play game, so I'm smelling microtransactions galore all over this bitch.
There's gonna be a lot of references, I feel,
and it's gonna be heavily intrusive. I'm gonna guess.
We'll find out.
I guess
free
we'll find
at least from at least the bases.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Cowabunga Collection launches this year. This is just a big collection of all the old classic TMNT games from throughout the years. Lots of all the 2D, beat 'em ups and so forth. Cool for those who care. I never played them back in the day, and I'm not like a big Ninja Turtles fan, so I'm cool. Good, cool for who wants it.
Yeah.
JoJo's Bizarre... Gigabash brings multiplayer monsters and mayhem to PS5 and PS4. This is the kaiju, counterpart to the Gundams, you know? This one, I was like, okay, kind of looks kind of interesting, I'm cool with being a big monster or whatever, but it was, again, it looked pretty stiff. Granted, kaiju's, you're a giant monster, you're probably going to be stiff anyways, and it was, it took that, almost looked like not twin sticks, but the asymmetric camera where we're pulled out and stuff and so forth. Again, didn't do anything for me, but I could see why somebody would be interested.
Finally getting to fill out that kaiju dream.
And then moving on, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R launches this fall. This game tricked me.
Pretty interesting.
This game tricked me.
Yes, I know.
Because Persona 4 Ultimax is on the horizon. Or is it out? I don't know.
This week, I think.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck!
I think it's March 16th.
Google that real quick. Yeah, but this one had me tripping because it opened up. It was the dark, jails or whatever. And it was all brown. And then that, little floating blue butterfly came out and flew. And for those who know, in Persona 4, all the save points are these beautiful blue butterflies. So I was like, oh, Persona! And it's not at all. It's some other weird anime shit. JoJo? Okay, cool. Fighting game? All right.
Comes out Thursday. But you don't have to buy it. We'll play it. Someone will buy it.
It's not a matter of cost, Connor. It's a matter of fucking time. Where am I going to get the fucking time to play all the things I want to play?
Well, you're not.
Fuck!
With the JoJo game, it's interesting because it was originally a PS3 game. A fighting game for JoJo, which usually aren't that good. There's an older one that's very fun, nice 2D fighter, and a lot of them since then have been 3D fighters, which I am not a fan of and I think are pretty stupid. This one's bringing in some... It's trying to focus it more on a 2D plane while still keeping it the ability to sidestep and whatnot. I'm not too familiar with the mechanics of the original game, but apparently they're making it a lot better. So, could be an interesting fighting game I can get my hands on. I've got tons of those already, but I don't mind. JoJo's cool.
Trek to Yomi.
That was the one that shot out to me the most.
This is the most impressive thing. This game has had showings before, apparently. This is the first time I saw it.
Yeah, same here.
It looks dope. The nice 2D... black and white Japanese samurai katana wielding gameplay. So I'm about it. About it. Style, gameplay, instantly you sold me on all aspects of the game immediately, and I was like, you know what, I'm in.
I don't know if you had the same thought when it first came up. I thought it was based around Ghost of Tsushima as a base game, and then used as kind of like what they did with Legends, the multiplayer. They used Ghost of Tsushima to make a multiplayer game just basically out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Doing that same thing with this kind of like side scrolling.
This is kind of everything I wanted from Ghost, like aesthetically and style wise. Whereas like Ghost is pretty grounded and so forth. But like when Legends came out, I was like, this is what I wanted from Sucker Punch, is the weird shit.
Yeah.
And then they they delivered that there, and this is looking exactly like that. Where like I want the weird shit, and this is the weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
Should probably black out these windows when we do this show or something. Anyways, yeah, Trek to Yomi definitely on my radar. Definitely gonna play that.
Yeah.
Now, for the moment that blew my mind, and I'm so excited for it, I already kind of mentioned it already. Returnal Ascension update adds co-op in Tower of Sisyphus. It's a survival mode. It's co-op. Connor, Returnal's getting co-op, bro.
Which you didn't expect.
No
one did.
No. Is that going to break the game? Is the game going to get so much harder? What is going to happen? How does that work? Is it drop in, drop out? Can I just join any cycle? Like, what is happening here? I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Connor, you going to play Returnal with me someday, buddy?
At some point, yeah. I mean, this is a good kickoff for that.
Yeah, it is, baby. Let's go.
Unfortunately, once again,
this is the weekend.
This is the march that it didn't need to come out.
This is a march of hell.
Yeah.
Like, we're just putting you through hell. Here's game after game after game after game. You want to play all of them.
I do.
I
really, really do.
Anyways, yeah, I'm very excited for that. That was the one that gave me the big pop, because at first I was like, oh, cool, Returnal. And then the co-op partner came on, and I was like, what?
That made the state of play a B.
That brought it from a B. That brought it to a B right there. That alone. And then, questionable decision, we ended on 2 new announcements from Square Enix. The first being Diofield Chronicle, announced PS5, PS4. This is a tactics RPG. This is the more interesting of the two to me, personally. And it looked okay. A lot of the somehow in a tactics RPG, you made the gameplay look stiff. I don't know how you did that, but you did it.
I know what you mean.
But I think, and we'll get into this when I talk about triangle strategy later. I think I have not had much experience in the tactics RPG genre, but maybe I should. Maybe this is a new love of mine that I should have been on.
Sure, with Fire Emblem, as I did.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses, XCOM 1 and 2, and now I'm really, really enjoying triangle strategy. So like maybe this is something that like I need to like dive deep and like really get my footing in.
Unfortunately, whereas when triangle strategy, when I saw it, instantly was hooked by the design of it and the presentation of it.
Oh, it's that Octopath Traveler, guys. So yeah,
but this one was not. It's
Diofield.
Diofield. It seemed like it was too generic in terms of its presentation of that kind of game, when it could have been something cooler like triangle strategy.
I agree. I agree very much. And I agree even more so with the next game Square Enix showed with Valkyrie Elysium coming PS5, PS4 2022. Yeah, this looks like some generic anime fucking action game.
Yeah.
Could have copy and pasted this from 7 other games that came out in the last 5 years.
I play a lot of those types of games when they come out because usually they're ones that grab me. This was not one of them.
Didn't do anything for you?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, like I looked at that and I was like, in a already overcrowded genre, I don't even know why fans of the genre would even try to play this, because this looks boring.
Yeah, it does.
Like, we have seen this before 1,000 times. But who knows? Maybe we'll see more later and it'll actually grab our interest. Maybe it'll have a better showing later on or something, or maybe they'll introduce a mechanic that makes it unique or interesting or something. Who knows? But yeah, as of right now, not looking too great.
Strange place to close out the entire showcase.
Definitely. Yeah, I think the back-to-back of both of those announcements was a strange call. But, it is what it is. Overall, it was a fine state of play, but it just didn't blow any socks off. Moving on to our second topic of the day, your first penny of the day. Perfect Dark has lost its game director.
Mm-hmm.
We're pulling a VGC article by Andy Robinson. Perfect Dark's game director appears to have quit Xbox developer The Initiative. According to his LinkedIn profile, Dan Newberger left the California-based studio last month. His profile page currently flags that he is looking for work elsewhere in design or director roles. Newberger had worked at The Initiative for nearly 4 years and was previously a game director on the Tomb Raider series at Crystal Dynamics, the same studio which is now collaborating on Perfect Dark. The Perfect Dark's director exit marks at least the second major design departure on the project in the past 12 months. potentially more than a year ahead of the reboot's expected release. In February 2021, Perfect Dark's design director Drew Murray announced he left the initiative to rejoin his former employer, Insomniac Games. Murray cited personal reasons for his decision to leave. Murray and Newberger leave behind a veteran team of creatives established in 2018. The initiative is led by Daryl Gallagher, the former Activision development boss and head of Crystal Dynamics, developer of the Tomb Raider series. Since Perfect Dark's announcement in December 2020, the bigged news regarding the reboot had been that Marvel's Avengers and Tomb Raider developer Crystal Dynamics had been hired to help the project. We had covered this when it had happened last year. Okay. So, we've got now two huge creative leads that have left the project. One for just personal reasons, just said, "Hey man, I just want to go work over here." And he went over. Okay, more power to you. This guy, no real news, not even like a real confirmation that it's actually happened, but it appears that it's happened. Again, could it be creative differences, XYZ? Circumstance doesn't necessarily mean that the game is in trouble or not, alongside with help from Crystal Dynamics, which is a talented studio, even though Marvel's Avengers would have you think otherwise. But, those Tomb Raider games are great.
Also, we don't know how long the game was in development now that he's gone. Because, as the article says, predicted. Obviously, they've never actually given a release date yet.
It's also like, we're probably, I mean, we haven't seen any real gameplay or anything, but the general gameplay loop and direction are probably locked in at this point. It's probably not oh man, what direction are we taking this game? It's probably just, this is the direction we're taking, and he went, okay, cool, I'm good. Probably,
It's hard to say because this is all coming off just based off of a LinkedIn profile, having him left. The employer of who was making Perfect Dark. Yeah. So it's, it's too hard to really make any snap judgment with confidence.
It's hard. I mean, and because it was so quiet, that makes it a little harder to tell, too. Because it could have been, hey, shush, fucking get out. Or it could have been hey, man, I'm just really not interested and I'm looking to leave.
Yeah.
I want to do something new. And what it probably tells me is this game's probably going to play a lot like Tomb Raider. Probably going to play a lot like Tomb Raider. So this guy was probably like, yo, I did this. I did this already. I don't want to do this again. I'm cool. Great. I'm literally working with the same people I was working with, and I got away for a reason. I wanted to be on this new adventure, with the initiative, and now you're bringing in the guys I used to work with, and I am, another, female-led action adventure, first person. I'm sorry, Perfect Dark is a first-person shooter. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, you're probably gonna feel some Tomb Raider in there, probably not so much obviously in combat, but probably in design, open worldness, all of that type stuff, all of the ways that boxes and things open and so forth is probably gonna feel a lot like Tomb Raider.
Which, if it does,
AI behavior or something, I don't know. Who knows?
We'll see, because it'll be kind of weird because you'd think they'd keep it in a first-person game at this point.
Yeah,
but
all we can do is speculate.
Could do third-person.
You could do third-person. It's a classic character design that the Jessie from Perfect Dark. That's her name, right? I've never played it.
I've never played it either.
But I imagine, it's a first-person shooter game. So it said somewhere in this article. I don't remember where.
That's what it's known as. That's what the old games look like.
I imagine it's gonna stay that way. But we'll see. Not a lot to drive from this. Just kind of something of note, just to be hey, this happened. Another something of note. Your second penny of the day, our third topic. Connor, Russia's going crazy over here, bro.
Yep, they're against the world.
They're against the world, man.
And now against video game companies.
And a bit of an update for something that we've talked about previously. The video game industry has gone to war with Russia. They said, "Hey, man, you're doing some crazy stuff." Even PlayStation put out a statement this last week saying, "Hey, we don't like that. No good."
Didn't they prevent people from buying from their PlayStation store? Wasn't that one of the big things they did?
Let me pull up.
If I remember correctly, they did.
Let me pull it up.
Sony
Interactive Entertainment joins the global community in calling for peace in Ukraine. We have suspended all software and hardware shipments, the launch of Gran Turismo 7, and operations of the PlayStation Store in Russia. To support humanitarian aid, Sony Group Corporation announced a U.S. $2 million donation to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees and the international NGO Save the Children to support the victims of this tragedy. So yeah, lockdown on Russia, which has been the theme lately. We're just gonna kill you financially. You can't afford this ridiculous invasion. Pulling a Game Rant article by Dalton Cooper, Russia is legalizing video game piracy in response to sanctions. Russia's status as one of the world's leading nuclear powers has kept most other countries from responding to its invasion of Ukraine with military action, but other steps have been taken to try to stop the war. Countries around the world have imposed severe sanctions on Russia in an effort to destroy the country's economy, with numerous tech companies and video game developers joining the effort by refusing to sell their products in the region until the crisis is over. The economic sanctions on Russia have been an astounding impact on the country's economy, reducing the value of Russia's ruble below Roblox's Robux. Holy fuck, that's funny. Russia will have to react to the sanctions from each industry in different ways, but when it comes to things like tech and video games, it seems to have come up with a way to get around the sanctions. The Russian government is effectively making it legal for citizens to pirate video games and other content from companies located in countries that have imposed sanctions on it. As reported by City AM and IGN, the Russian government is now allowing its companies to use IP from companies located in other countries without actually having to pay them. It's also been suggested that torrent sites will be unblocked to make it easier for Russian citizens to pirate content. Russian citizens will be able to pirate movies without needing to fear any kind of legal repercussions, and this would extend to other forms of entertainment as well, like video games and TV shows. However, it's been reported by PlayStation Lifestyle that a sizable portion of Russian consumers tend to pirate content anyway, so it's unclear what effect this will really have. It's quite possible that Russians were pirating video games and other entertainment in the wake of the sanctions already, though now they will be able to do it without having to worry about potentially running into legal trouble. As it stands, piracy is the only way that Russian gamers will be able to play new games for the foreseeable future, as pretty much every major video game company has suspended sales in the region. Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo have all suspended sales in Russia to protest the invasion and support Ukraine, and the biggest publishers in the industry have taken similar measures.
It makes sense they would do this.
Yeah.
And they're doing.
Yeah.
They obviously don't want any of the negative ramifications of canceling out industries.
Yo, if I'm
in their
Sony,
country,
I just sue Russia now.
It's like, all right.
I just all right, you fucked up, dog. Like we said no, and now you're going around our backs, and we can't chase your citizens, but we can chase you, motherfucker.
Which is the better thing to do anyway. So
exactly. Yeah. So that's that. I don't know how you sue a country. People do it.
You do, yeah. People sued Saudi Arabia as a result of the 9/11 attacks. So people can do that. They can do this.
People do it.
Mm-hmm.
People do it. That's really all there is about to say. Peace for Ukraine. Fuck Russia. Fuck Putin.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Putin in particular.
Yeah.
In particular.
He's definitely the bad guy here.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Hey, bro. You're the bad guy.
Bombing Syrian children was not enough, apparently.
Ugh, fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Moving on to our final topic of the day. Let's end on something a little nice. A little cool. A little light. A little fun.
Something I enjoy.
You'll definitely enjoy. I might gander. Depending on what's up there. Pulling an article from VGC News again. Chris Scullion. Square Enix launches its own YouTube music channel and adds 5,500 tracks to YouTube Music. More than 5,500 of the publisher's tracks are now available for YouTube Music users to listen to. Users can search for Square Enix to see all the albums available under the Square Enix Music artist name. This includes, over 60 albums, including the soundtracks for the likes of Final Fantasy IX, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Chrono Trigger, and Nier Automata. More albums can be found under their composers' names. Searching for Nobu Uematsu, for example, presents another 19 albums, including the complete soundtracks to Final Fantasy 1 through 8. As well as this, Square Enix has launched a new YouTube channel called Square Enix Music. This content playlist links to all its albums to make finding them easier. It also promises to include new, bespoke videos based on its music, including interviews with composers. At the time of writing, the channel also has two 2-hour DJ mixes of Square Enix music designed to be played in the background. Mellow Minstrel Mix is designed to chill, study, and work, while Airstrip Cruise Beats is game music to hype you up. The move not only provides fans of Square Enix a place to listen to all of its music for free, but also prevents other users from uploading and monetizing the music themselves. It's a move that fans of other publishers such as Nintendo have been requesting. Nintendo does not typically release its soundtracks on music services, leading many to call on the publisher to do so. Gilvia Sunner, a YouTuber who claims to have received around 4,000 copyright strikes from Nintendo for uploading video game soundtracks, announced last month that they were ending their channel. Well, yeah, dude, you can't just fucking you can't do that, bro.
Yeah.
No, like, come on, let's be smart. Let's be smart. Anyways, yeah, this is great. This is cool. This is very exciting. I love how in depth it all is. It's not just like they just posted it all and just left it there. They said, hey man, playlists, albums, breakdowns, interviews, all 9 yards. Here's some cultivated playlists, depending on what you're trying to do in the moment and stuff. Have fun. Cool. Thanks. Appreciate you. I can't wait to throw on my study and chill playlist and hear Aerith's theme and cry.
Yeah, I'm a major fan of Square Enix's music for their video games.
Great
I
stuff.
think in my eyes they're probably the best at creating music for video games, just because they have things like the Final Fantasy franchise, Chrono Trigger, Nier Automata. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Just a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, just tons and tons of stuff, and now on a single place that you can listen it to. Which I've actually looked for on YouTube before, and now I don't have to go to YouTube anymore.
Well, I mean, it is on YouTube.
Well, I don't have to go to the regular YouTube playlists that random people create and just have,
you don't have to search for it. You just have it now.
and have random songs that aren't peaceful or relaxing pop up.
Square Enix music. Okay. Yeah, let's look around here real quick.
First time I've
Playlists.
actually looked at this.
Heroes and Villains, Final Fantasy.
I figured there was always going to be a lot of Final Fantasy.
Remixes, holiday playlists, Square Enix music,
Holiday.
Nier Automata, Heroes and Villains, some Japanese things that I can't read because I'm dumb and American. All right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of content here. There's a lot of content here. I see a lot of Final Fantasy. So, but this is great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Good job being better than Nintendo.
Shout out Square Enix. This is a good one. Maybe put out some better games, but you know.
Figure of Paradise will be amazing. I'm calling it. It's going to get amazing. It's going to have a lambasted story.
Yeah.
But everything else is going to be fantastic. Sevens? But it's going to be to me and us. Is what I'm predicting. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's terrible. Maybe the funny stuff is going to
be your new game of the year. Yeah. It's going to be your game of the year.
Elden Ring, watch out.
Elden Ring, watch
on the ropes now. Thanks to Stranger to Paradise.
This is great, man. I would love to see this. I would love to see this more. I'd love to, I would love to see things from, classic things like Metal Gear to find stuff like this. Granted, you can find a lot of Metal Gear's music online anyway.
Konami, I feel like, would probably not be one of the...
Konami's the problem there. But, Sony's got a bunch of classic music and PlayStation stuff that I would love to just have.
Yeah.
Mass Effect soundtracks, fucking... throw a dart, name it. Video games have great music, across the board. And it's hard to get some of that music sometimes, especially from our Japanese developers.
Yeah, I know there's some fighting games, for example, that I'd like to listen to on Spotify.
Yeah.
Some music from those games.
Yeah.
They're just not there. They actively try and take them off in some cases.
Yeah.
Like with Melty Blood. I know that happened with it recently. That new fighting game that came out a couple months back. So the more kind of Japanese companies that do that, the more I hope maybe figure, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it's
Atlas,
that much
Atlas has always been pretty decent about
Atlas
it.
has always been very good at that kind of stuff.
So
thankfully, because they have some great music as well.
Great music as well. I've got many Persona songs saved in my playlist, and they just come up, and I unironically listen to them.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I'm in the mood for this. It's a fucking
good song outright.
Literally Pusha T, Kendrick Lamar, Persona 5. Okay. Yeah, this is great. Love it. So excited. Connor?
Yep.
Let's go ahead and jump into what we've been playing. I imagine this is not going to be too surprising for anybody this week, but let's go ahead and start with you.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. Give us your Elden Ring update. Where are you at with Elden Ring?
Well, damn. Honestly, I was 32 hours in last I checked, and then I haven't checked since. Just something I haven't been paying attention to.
Right.
I've kept progressing through the game. I've beaten another one of the main bosses.
Good for you.
Only one. But that's really a result of me, once again, still in love with the exploration aspects of the game.
Exploring.
Yeah. So I'm entering. I think I'm starting. I think going to enter into late game content, late game content, and some things I've heard online got me kind of worried because I did a strength build. I just like going in there with a sword, dodging attacks, fighting that way. apparently that playstyle just kind of gets hurt the more you go into the game, because the bosses are based around making that basically the most difficult way to play the game. So, magic, for example, is apparently the way the game is like easiest to play.
I'm seeing a big focus on magic. I've never seen that in one of these games before.
Yeah, magic's always been very, very effective.
Which pisses me off because I'm usually a magic player, but magic is usually not a great way to play these games, so I didn't go that route.
Yeah, it's, I'll see if that ends up being
true. I
saw
one dude made a copy of himself. He entered a boss fight, used a summon, which was basically just a copy of himself, and then the summon went and fought the boss while he went and peed.
Yeah, that's actually a thing that people have been doing. It's the mimic ash tier that he used.
Yeah.
Apparently it breaks certain bosses.
Yeah.
Beat him.
Yeah. It's just before he got back from his pee, the fight was over.
Yeah. Apparently it tanks some bosses single-handedly, and any build can use it as well. So once you get it, it's kind of just you basically can just speedrun the game if you use that. Which if I find it, I won't, because I'm a Souls player.
I also won't use it.
Yeah.
Because I stopped.
Yeah. And you'll never pick it up again.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. That was a stretch. But
I don't know. But like, it'll definitely be like, I'm cool. I'm just at a point where I'm cool. Mm-hmm. All right. It turned into a Dark Souls game, and I went, this isn't fun for me. This is actually annoying to me. Mm-hmm. Like you're using level design in smart and clever ways, but to use it against me, like not to use it like in a way to where I feel like, oh man, this is a cool like place I'm exploring, or this is like really well thought out. It is really well thought out, but you're using it to take advantage of me, and you're a dickhead for that, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't appreciate it.
Yeah. Sometimes
when it was birds throwing explosive barrels at me, Connor, I was like, all right.
You just run past them.
You do. That's not fun. I ran through. I got stuck in Stormvale Castle, guys. I got stuck, and I just kept running past enemies. I just ran past enemy after enemy after enemy because they were either too strong, there was too many. I killed them all once, and then I was like, well, why would I do it again? I already did it, so let me just run past them because why would I risk dying to some enemies that I already know I can beat, and then just run into an enemy that will beat me anyway? And I'm just like, what is the point of this? Where's the fun?
It's like a roguelike. You see?
No!
You go in, and you die, and then you do it again.
I saw somebody say, Returnal is harder, and I was confused by that statement.
Really?
I was like, huh? Like, Returnal's tough. Don't get me wrong. If you don't play it carefully, it will punish you. But it's not like... It's not throwing anything at you that you can't beat. Like...
What are you talking about, Tavin?
I
did everything that the game threw at me.
All the time, Elden Ring is like, and it's actually a meme with the Tree Knight, where like the Tree Knight is one of the first enemies you come across in Elden Ring, and you can go grind for 10 hours and he'll still whoop your ass.
Unless you're me, I did fine against that boss. I don't know why people were complaining about him. He was easy to me. It's not even a joke.
You probably just missed him the first time, and then when you did find him, you were level.
Oh, I saw him the first time, and I got my ass kicked. I'm not that good of a player. I just came back 10 hours later and beat him.
Okay.
Or
so the
like
thing that I just said?
But I did that. But you said he'd come back and whoop your ass. I whipped his ass. It's a difference. Core difference. One of them gets me angry, one of them does not.
Anyways, Elden Ring, yeah, it's great for all the reasons that I said it was great in the review. And I stopped for all the reasons that I predicted I would stop for. So
that's Souls for you.
Hey man, I tried.
Yeah,
I tried.
You gave it the old.
Listen, man, these things are just not for me, man. They're just not. Mm-hmm. Okay.
We got other games to play, like
I do like some triangle fucking strategy, baby. Woo! So. We're kind of quasi-planning a full review next week because you plan on playing it anyway. I imagine this is
I'm taking a break from Elden Ring just to not burn myself out on it. Which some people did say that, like, as the game progressed, they would, just kind of rush through the main things you need to do because they got tired of everything else. So I'm going to avoid that. Yeah, big game.
I keep hearing people go, "Hey, man, I thought I was close to the end. Then the map quadrupled in size."
I don't know if I guess I'll maybe find that out.
You haven't had that happen yet?
I haven't had that yet. I don't think.
Oh, Lord alive.
There is a point in the game where I think it's ending too early, so that's probably where it's going to be.
That's probably where it's going to happen.
Probably where I'm like, that's not. There's a lie.
Yeah, so, and I'm seeing people be like, yeah, man, it took me 90 hours, 100 hours, and yada, crazy, but you're probably 60s?
Maybe less.
Maybe less?
Yeah. Maybe like 50.
50s, somewhere in there.
But
yeah,
hey,
so you probably got some time to go.
First playthrough of Persona 5 was 100 hours around.
A lot less exploring in Persona 5, though.
Yeah, a lot less exploring.
Anyways, yeah, so I've been playing Triangle Strategy, and I'm going to save a lot of my like in-depth talk for it next week. But for those who don't know, Triangle Strategy is a tactics RPG from Nintendo. It's from the same guys who did Octopath Traveler, which was best known for its art design. Everything else, people were like, this is good, just not great. You played Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, I struck for reasons very particular to me, but
okay,
similar.
All right, cool. Yeah. And Connor, you're about to start your journey into this game. So let me just tell you what to kind of prep for here. This is a very slow building game. You literally first 2 or 3 hours, I think I had one battle.
Dang,
like
okay.
That's it. And then it was a lot of talking. Like people were talking.
Politics talking too.
Lots of politics, lots of heavy-handed, and they throw a lot at you very fast, and they don't really slow down for you and stuff. You will catch on, like you'll get it, like eventually. It just takes some time, and it's a lot of people throwing a lot of titles at you. And the game, you know, it's a tactics RPG, so it's nations going to war with each other, you know? And it's 3 nations with 3 different types of governments.
You gotta learn them all.
And you gotta learn them all.
When you posted that in one of our chats,
yeah,
and I was excited when I heard that, because that does sound investing to me.
I'm into the politics of what's happening in this game.
Good. Sold on that then.
And
that
the story I'm moderately into. The thing that's holding me back is that the main character is so generic. He is Mr. Goody Two-Shoes, Boy Scout, optimism, all the time.
I see.
All the time. And his voice actor, not the best. Not the best.
Play it in Japanese.
Nope. But there are characters that I'm really, really liking. Sort of like the main chick, the main girl, Frederica, who is your bride to be. I love her. She's great. All of your like companions and friends, I like a lot of them that they've applied characterization to. There's 1 or 2 that they keep intentionally vague, which is funny. I have made 2 decisions, 2 major decisions, and I like the way that decision making happens in this game because it's subtle. It takes place over. This is one of those games that you really do want to go talk to everybody.
Oh, okay.
Like
everything's going down.
Here, let me. Do I want to break it down or not? Fuck it. So gameplay takes place over 3 main courses of action. It's dialogue and choices, it's exploration, and then it's combat. Your combat is classic tactics RPG, nothing really special about it. They don't do there's no like gimmick to like spice it up, like, you know, Fire Emblem does the companionship thing where like, you know, the more time characters fight together, they'll bond together, and then you'll unlock dialogue scenes and see them grow together as characters and so on and so forth. You know, and a bunch of other tactics RPGs have the thing. My main foothold is Fire Emblem, so that's what I know. But like, you know, a bunch of these games have stuff like that. This game, pretty traditional. You're on a grid. There's a level. You gotta defeat all the enemies in the level, or you gotta get to the end of the level before they defeat you. You gotta finish the level in so many turns, etc., etc., etc. You know, and then it just continues from there. Where it excels, I think, is great level design. A lot of those fights in Fire Emblem 3 Houses kind of just felt like an empty field with like some terrain, I guess, and then you would just go and wipe everybody out. This one, the way they place everybody and how it's all designed and laid out and stuff, you gotta think. Like, you will lose people quick if you don't think. There's no permadeath in this game, which is appreciated. Because for story purposes, they will throw characters at you that are big deals and will be dangerous, and you have to outsmart them. And outsmarting them means you got to make some choices that you don't want to make, but it's, you know, you have to.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. It's very, very cool. But yeah, classic tactics RPG. You're on the grid, you're moving. It's chess, like, but like, you know,
engaging combat.
You know, engaging
turn.
combat
They
and
have
stuff.
their turn.
Yeah. Everybody's got a turn. Everything instead of Fire Emblem, it's very set. Like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like it's these people's turns. In this game, everything's based off of the speed. How fast? So if a character's speed is really high, they'll have first turn. And then sometimes, if a character's speed is so high, they'll have 2 turns before another character has 1.
Boy, that's pretty funny. Okay.
But there's ways around it and so forth that we can talk about later. And I'm really, really enjoying the combat. Really good. It's just tried and true. It's working. even though in the opening hours it's very limited. I'm 13 hours in right now, so I'm now in the meat of the game. Yeah. The main conflict has started for me. And then we're just going from there. The exploration phases, these are phases in which you are given the opportunity to walk around, talk to characters, see where everybody's at the current situation. But also when you're in towns and so forth, you talk to the people of the towns and you get more information from them. Where's the town at? How are the politics working for the people? What are some secrets that maybe a passerby knows that you as an adventurer maybe don't know, and so forth. And all of this, and then also it's a chance to pick up healing items and bonus items and stuff like that to kind of keep that ecosystem going. Talk to everybody. Mm-hmm. Enter every house. Look in everything. Look in every corner. Lot of information.
Something to benefit.
Lots of information. The more information you have, it helps because it all comes down to that third level, which is the dialogue and and making your choices. You are the leader of your group, of course, or
you're like a mercenary or country. You represent a country.
You represent a country.
Okay.
You represent a country. And then your party has just as much, if not more, say in the decisions made as you do. It's all based off of a voting system. Where a conflict will come up. All these characters feel away and have, they go, hey, we should do this, we should do that. One of the very first ones is, hey, we should go to place A, we should go to place B. Everybody split. Mm-hmm. And then you, as the protagonist, have the opportunity to convince people to swap sides.
Convince, not just choose.
Yeah, convince. Yeah. Let me tell you what. Choice 1, I convinced everybody but one to go this route. Choice 2, I convinced one person. And I still got my way because I had the one person, Okay. But everybody else was like, no, I'm sorry, but I think we should do this.
So you only had one person agree with you, but
it's a A-B situation.
Okay.
So so far, I don't know if this is always true, but so far it's always been split. It's a group of 7 people deciding. Mm-hmm. Three feel one way, 3 feel another way, and then there's one that they keep neutral. I think that neutral person is meant to be your vote, because as far as I can tell, your character isn't voting.
Oh, okay.
But I think the neutral person who has been neutral both times, maybe that changes later on. I don't know. Is meant to be the player character's vote. Mm-hmm. So you just talk to that person, you convince them, and both times she was like, "Yeah, sounds good." Yeah, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Everybody else, they were like, hey, I feel this way about it. And I was like, but have you considered this? And they go, you know what? I haven't considered that. That's a good point. I'll think about it. Mm-hmm. And then the time comes and they either go, you know what? You were right. Yeah, I think we should do this now. Or it's just not enough for me. I still think we should, do the other thing. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So yeah, while you're exploring and you're gathering information, you will actually unlock new dialogue options.
Okay, try and convince
them
better.
As you're playing the game, you're selecting dialogue options. And if you pick stronger dialogue options, Sarah Noah, your main character, becomes more convincing later as well. There's constantly a thing that pops up in the right, like after every choice, where it says his convictions have strengthened, which means his ability to convince has increased, and so on and so forth. So it really is a thing where take your time, talk to people, get invested, because even though it's not the most interesting story in the world, I think, there's a lot of generic stuff in it. It's good enough to grab your interest. There are characters that I do want to see grow and evolve and stuff. And it's not all about the battles in this game, which is interesting to me. Yeah. It very much is it's very political. Whereas Fire Emblem was very character based. You're very much hey, I want to see the evolution of Hilda. I want to see where she goes, or Meredith, or Mercedes, or whoever was in that game. I don't even remember. It was hey, I want to see them evolve. In this one, it's very much, okay, hold on. If we make this choice, how is the duchy gonna react? And if the duchy reacts this way, will Byzantine react, or Hyzant, react that way? What's gonna happen here? And it's tense. You go, fuck, man. If I say this, are they gonna hate me? Or are they gonna love me? And the whole time you're thinking, you're like, okay, because of course, you're starting in peace times, And almost immediately, you're like, all right, shit's gonna go south.
Yeah.
Like, shit's gonna, because we need a game. We need a conflict here. So you're like, when is it gonna hit the fan? And then it hits the fan, and you go, fuck. All right, I really hope I spent the last 8 hours making friends, because let me tell you what, I'm gonna need some friends. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying triangle strategy so far. One thing I'm not in love with is how it seems like the full party is going to be very big. There's a core group of people who clearly matter, and then there's other people who are just kind of joining in. How they choose to have these people join in, I'm not a big fan of that implementation. I like the characters, I like their uses in combat, but it's very much like hey, I'm here now. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no, like, real context given. It's just, like, they give you a backstory, but it's like, all right, cool, whatever, your backstory, whatever. But, like, so not the biggest fan of that. But other than that, I'm liking how all the systems are playing together and working together. I read some reviews saying, hey, it gets tough in later levels, which I'm excited for, because it hasn't been tough yet. But I have had multiple battles where I'm like, okay, hold on, pause. I got to think about this. Where am I really going? Fire Emblem, at least with 3 houses, you could absolutely just be like, fuck it, move him over there, see what happens. Yeah. You know? Or, I need to draw some people in over on this side. Let me just send him over there and to get that. And it wouldn't really matter. Here, if you lose someone in battle, you're going to be kicking yourself for the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. There was one battle in particular that was very tough, and it was pitched to be very tough, and I tried to be smart, and my plan didn't work, and I had to adapt on the fly and figure, and I was like, fuck, man, I lost character so-and-so really early into this fight, and I really needed them. Like, they were the linchpin in my plan, and I lost them almost immediately. Yeah. And now I'm sitting here, I'm like, fucking, I don't know, let's try this, let's see if this works, and then it worked.
Have you failed any missions yet?
No.
Okay.
No. But I imagine I will, eventually. And they also... So far, the pacing of the game, there's a recommended battle level for every mission. Mm-hmm. I'm always one level short so far.
Oh,
like, if it's level 9, I'm always level 8. If it's level 10, I'm always level 9. Like, and there's side missions to go and boost up your XP. They don't feel like side missions, because I need to keep pace with this game, because otherwise I'm going to fall short. Anyways, I really like Triangle Strategy. I'm going to continue playing it. It's my new current... like, obsession. It's the first game since Sifu this year that, like, I played and I was itching to get back.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, I've actually been interested. Even with me playing Elden Ring, when I bought it, I was like, I really want to play this. I kind of had to hold back from playing it because I'm like, I'm not going to have much time today to start actually getting into the game, but I want to. So I'm interested to try it out.
I like it so far. So, anyways, good. We'll have full in-depth discussions, reviews, opinions. Maybe some back and forths or something. Yeah. Honestly, I think you and I will probably land very similarly to this game. But yeah, that is it for what we've been playing this week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Two Penny Gamescast episode. I'm looking at my doc and I have to do the math. 85. 85. Who would have thought?
Almost to a 90.
Who would have thought? Almost there. Thank you so much for watching, listening, all that fun stuff. Remember, you can catch us every Monday, 8 a.m. Central Time, youtube.com/2pennygamescast, or mainstream podcast service of your choice. Please like, follow, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. Share it with a friend, please. We really do appreciate it. Some things that have gone up on the channel this last week. I reacted to the State of Play from this last week, which we already talked about in depth. You can go and see full reactions there. The Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage After the Hype review is up right now. You can go and watch that. Nice, quick 20 minutes of Spyro 2. Eventually, we'll have an Uncharted 4 After the Hype review up. Me and Phil are just struggling to get our schedules in line in order to review that. And a Sonic Adventure 1 is coming as well. But remember, twitch.tv/2pennygames, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Central Time. We're going to continue our adventure into Catherine. If we're going to do that all day or not, I don't know. I don't imagine we will. We'll probably take a break halfway through the day and then switch to something else. So maybe we'll return to Crash Bandicoot. Maybe we'll do some Gears of War 2. I don't fucking know. I don't know what Phil has in store for me, man. I don't know.
Especially after this last game, it sounds.
I straight up told him, I said, no Sonic next week. Absolutely not. I refuse. I will not play Sonic again. That was a bad anyways. you'll get a review for that. Keep an eye out for those.
Before we go, I do have one message.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't spare me the time to.
Oh, sure.
Sonic games
Yeah.
are not good.
No, stop that. There's
They
good
are
Sonic
overrated.
games.
Sonic is dead.
No, Sonic
It
is
needs
not
to
dead.
die. It's
There's a
stupid.
Sonic game coming out this year. What are you
The
talking
idea
about?
of Sonic is stupid. The games themselves
Why is it a stupid
are
idea?
stupid.
It's a fast
because
boy.
it's a dumb little fast raccoon that doesn't need to be
No, he's
fast
a
anymore.
hedgehog.
Because there's better fast games out there.
He's a hedgehog.
I meant to say hedgehog. I knew that. I knew that. I knew he was a hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog.
I thought you were just playing into a character.
I just said the wrong
You're just
animal.
being disrespectful. No, there's good Sonic games. Come on.
That
now.
is my
Let's
statement.
not be
That is
ridiculous.
my statement.
Sonic and the Black Knight. Sonic
Bad
and the
game.
Secret Rings.
Bad game.
Great games.
Maybe good music, but bad game.
Those games are infamously terrible. But
Are they? I thought they were good.
no, I played them as a kid, and I liked them as a kid, but I was a dumb fucking kid. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Have a great week. And until next week, Connor, say goodbye to the people.
See ya.
Can you put some energy into the goodbyes?
See ya.
There you go.
I meant to do it energetic.